What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode on the Insorum server. We are right now at the iron farms. As you can see, we've got an iron golem coming down. I've been AFK here for probably 2-3 hours, and I want to see how much iron I have. Oh, yeah, that's some efficiency right there. And apparently we have some stuff stuck in the hoppers. I'll just chuck that in there. We actually had a zombie spawn in there. Just let me put all that iron back. Just like that. Oh, that was it. I guess I'll grab this as well. Not sure why it flows into this chest. I'm not sure. Oh, I guess if it's... No, it's not sure. It must be when a couple of iron golems die and or more than one iron falls in the front hopper. Yeah, that must just be it. So while we're making our iron blocks here, I will kind of get started with the topic today. Today is a real talk, I guess. I don't know. I just find it a bit easier to call it like this because you guys know what you're getting today. Kind of a bit more of a serious kind of thing. That's what my real talks kind of go for. I'll just grab the rest of the iron. So we've got couple of stacks of iron blocks. We actually need 7 total. We've got 3.5 now. Actually, we need 7 total to do the first ring, so we'll need about 14, 15. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of iron, so I'm going to need to do a lot of AFK work. But if I'm uploading a video, in fact, I mean, this sounds weird, but after I record this, I'll actually upload this, so I guess I'll just AFK all night. AFK all night here, so that's what I'll probably end up doing. So yeah, we've got all the iron pods done. As you can see, 3 at the back, 6 at the back, 4 at the front, 10 iron pods, which allows us to get all that iron, which is excellent. I'm actually going to go over to the other iron tower, which is over here. There's one in Lowe's Tower 2. I'm going to go over to this one and see how many we've got here. So anyway, real talk time. Today's real talk is going to be on a topic that is like it's pretty serious. Oh, it's pretty serious, and it is more or less war. Oh, and you're thinking, why is he talking about something like this? And the reason is it was just recently Anzac Day. And Anzac Day is the day, a bit of Australian history. Sorry, I really just want to explain this. Sorry. This is a new restaurant we've been working on. In fact, it was literally today we were working on it, or by we, I mean Lorraine and I want to check a bunch of stuff in here just quickly. And basically we've got, you can't quite see them. If you go up here, you may be able to see them a bit more. It's a sheep. This one's sheep. And this one's cows. And it's just like a breeding cell. And then it breeds them. And you hold right click with the wheat. And it breeds them all into here. And then you kill them and it gives you steak and stuff. So you can see we've got a bit in there already. Sorry, I just thought I wanted to mention that. It's a really nice looking building. I'll give you a nice look at it. I'll give you a nice look at the back as well. Just like this. If we jump up on top, actually this room in here is really nice. If we have a look in here. So this, I was just in here. So this room actually turned out really nicely. I designed the cells quite nicely, and it actually turned out really well. And the redstone was was pretty basic, so we actually got this up and running pretty quickly, which was nice. So there you go. I will show you more of that when we can actually breed the animals, and maybe when Lorraine gets some furniture in there or something. Sorry. Getting back to the topic at hand, Anzac Day is the 25th of April every year. And Anzac Day, for those of you who don't know what Anzac stands for, it stands for Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. So, yeah, it's basically an Anzac soldier was either someone from Australia or New Zealand specifically, and the term was coined, I believe, during the First World War. Actually, I'm not sure if it was coined during them, but it was in general use First World War and afterwards. And where is the way down to get to here? Here? No. I don't know how to get below this thing. Well, is it down here? Stupid zombies. Oh, here. Yeah, this be it. No. I'm just going to go down here anyway. I just want to see it's down here. It's probably just a mining operation. Yeah, damn it. Alright. So anyway, Anzac Day is the day, and I'm not sure if you have, if guys have a parallel on the other side of the world. I know Anzac Day obviously is only celebrated in Australia and New Zealand, and it's the day we remember our fallen soldiers in the war, and that's the day we set aside to commemorate that. A bit of a short history lesson first, because you may be thinking, why 25th of April? What is the significance of that? I'm just going to go I'm just going to take a ride and see where this ends up, because I have no idea where this actually ends up. Oh, does it end up at the actual collection area over here, does it? I see. So anyway, a bit of history. Anzac Day is the 25th of April because the 25th of April, on the 25th of April 2015, yeah, it just goes to the collection area at the other place. There you go. 25th of April 2015, Anzac troops landed at a place in Turkey known as Gallipoli. Now, Gallipoli is a place, it's located in the Dardanelles, which is it's a series, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, geography people, but it's a major trade route through Turkey, I believe it goes near near Constantinople, roughly. That's very roughly, because Constantinople was a major land trade route, and Dardanelles were a major sea trade route because it was, I believe, the major way through Africa. Not Africa, but the top of Africa, between the Middle East and Africa, I believe. So it was a major trade route, and basically they said, all right, Anzac troops, you guys go to Gallipoli and form a stronghold against the Turks so we can, trade. And on the 25th of April, 1915, Anzac troops landed at Gallipoli in a place now known as Anzac Cove. Obviously, it wasn't known as that at the time. And I'm warning you, this is going to be a bit grim, but we were pretty much massacred there. So, by the way, this is going to be kind of I think like a New York style kind of area, like New York neighborhood. That's what Lo explained it to me as anyway. We're going to put like restaurants out here, little apartment buildings, probably similar to the red light district we got over there. We can go over there and I can show you a comparison, but basically that's what it's going to be, and we'll get to work on that eventually. But yeah, 1915, that happened, and we were essentially massacred on that day. We lost a lot of soldiers that day, in the thousands that day. Because the Turks were kind of waiting for us, then they kind of gunned us down. So, kind of sucks like that. Yeah, I think a bit like this, maybe a little more coloured, because, like the really colourful New York kind of style neighbourhoods and stuff like that, but a bit like that. So anyway, this is it for the city. We're actually going to head over to my build now, which I have now fixed, and you guys can have a laugh at that as I show you where I've screwed up. But yeah, whoa, looks like a sheep died. Oh yeah, Lorraine was taking sheep through here to fill the whatchamacallit, the sheep cooker, the restaurant we're doing. Or we've done, I guess you could say. So anyway, the Turkish troops are waiting for us, and yeah, we were massacred. The Gallipoli campaign, we actually managed to get troops in there, which is extremely surprising if you ask me. We actually managed to kind of hold down a defensive line for, I'm not exactly sure of the history, but it was at least, it's kind of 6 months, maybe even 10 months we were there during 1915, and we actually ended up evacuating after that. I don't think we gained any ground at all. All we managed to do was pretty much lose a bunch of lives for essentially nothing, which kind of sucks. And well, I guess the aftermath today, the Turkish people are actually really fine about it. Like, we were we were enemies then, but now we're not enemies, which I've kind of really like. That's how it should be. We shouldn't really have Well, we do, but we shouldn't have any proper enemies. I'm actually going to grab 2 netherrack. Yep, cool. But yeah, it's a bit like the German people are today and the German government and stuff like that. There's no hard feelings. It happened 100 years ago. There's no real massive hard feelings. In fact, well, I guess with the Germans, it did. It ended in 1945, and haven't done too much since. It hasn't been the Germans that are doing it, even if it is in Germany. So it's kind of no hard feelings, which is good. It's how it should be. We shouldn't have anything. Oh yeah, I did this bit. If we get out, I fixed up the porter room. I just did a nice pattern on the floor of quartz. I'm not sure I like it a heap. It's a little but it does the job. It looks fine. And yeah, some sea lanterns around here. So I think we can actually get rid of these torches, which is excellent. I didn't really want the torches in here to begin with. Maybe I'll add a couple more sea lanterns. But what the sea lanterns do is keep the floor nice and bright, which is nice. Yeah, we won't need any torches in here at all. Possibly put some windows in. In fact, I think I will. And now we can have this. Oh, have to keep holding space. Have this little ladder and total contrast to what's below, which is good because you kind of go through the water and it makes the contrast a little more bearable, if you ask me. So anyway, the real talk kind of... Oh yeah, before I should mention what my point is on this, and so you can see where I screwed up there. Yeah. I've left it as an indication of how much of an idiot I am. But anyway, the point I was going with this is that we have Anzac Day, and what we do on Anzac Day, and again, I'm not sure if this happens in the rest of the world, we have what is called a dawn service, and there are many dawn services. Basically, you get up, well, surprise, surprise, it's at dawn, or it actually ends at dawn. So you get up, you go there and go before dawn, and basically a bunch of people go down and they just stand there, and there's some people talking. Sometimes you sing like hymns and stuff, and basically it's a way for people to come down and pay respects to, all the people that fell, all our fallen heroes in the war. And I'll get onto this in a sec, but I'm not sure we should be calling them heroes, which is very inflammatory, and I'm not trying to make anyone mad about that. So I will get to that. So it's all right. Again, this is fairly real talk, and you guys knew what you were getting into. So don't be too mad. But basically, it's to pay respects to the fallen. You get up at dawn. I think the significance is that when we landed, or the Anzac troops landed at Anzac Cove or whatever at Gallipoli, it was actually dawn when they landed. So I think that is the kind of significance in that. So basically, it's a way for people to pay their respects, and I think it's really good. And pretty much, and when you go to one, it's really respectful. Almost everyone is really respectful of everyone else, and I think that's really good. It's the way it should be. So anyway, before I crack on with the second part of that, you can see, here. Can you see where I screwed up? You can see them diverging, and the inner ring's the wrong one, the outer ring's correct. You can see them getting further and further apart, and yeah, I screwed up, guys. It was only one thing I screwed up, and it messed up my whole circle. This is why I usually do a cross, because if you don't come back to the cross on the side, you've screwed up that quarter of the circle. You can't screw up more than a quarter of the circle if you do it that way. But this was so huge, I didn't really want to do it that way. So anyway, yeah. So we fixed it back here. So yeah, it comes back to the same spot. So what we're going to do now is grab out our iron blocks. Jesus, I'm going to have to knock out the torches as I go and light up as we go. And we're going to start placing in the first framework that will be our mega build. God damn, I hope this actually looks half good. If this doesn't look any good, I'm going to be pretty annoyed because I put in a lot of effort in trying to build this stupid ass circle. I'm actually going to go break all the torches first. We're going to do this quarter circle first, I think. So anyway, it's a way for people to pay their respects, and what I actually did yesterday morning, I'm filming this on Sunday, and on Saturday morning, 25th, I actually had the privilege of actually, and if you remember, I actually mentioned I do a bit of performing, do a bit of singing. I actually got the privilege to do a bit of singing in a dawn service. As I said, they sing some hymns as well. I actually got the privilege to sing some stuff like that, as well as the Australian and New Zealand national anthem. By the way, the Australian and New Zealand national anthems are actually really cool. I actually really like the New Zealand national anthem. I actually hadn't heard it until I'd sung it, yesterday morning. So I actually really like it. So shout out to Sunmika, only New Zealand, or at least person living in New Zealand. I believe Sunny has lived in New Zealand for the majority of her life, I think. Don't quote me on that. She'll be able to tell you more than anyone. But where was I going with this? But yeah, the national anthem's really cool. But anyway, I got the privilege to sing at that, and I was actually really moved. It was my first dawn service, but I was really, really moved by it. I didn't think I would be as kind of appreciative of the dawn service as I actually was, and I really actually had a good time. At the dawn service, I must admit, it was really good. But unfortunately, I had to get up at like 4:30 in the morning, and that was not fun. And I actually had a 21st last night, and in the end, I actually tweeted about this. So go follow me on Twitter, by the way. My handle is that at RipperSteveM5. I should probably change my Twitter handle. I'm kind of moving away from the Steve M5 bit of my name. It's I'm not really a huge fan of the second part of my name, but it was my name for a while, so I guess it's just my name. I probably will change my Twitter handle at some stage. But anyway, I was up for 21 hours straight, which was just lovely. Just lovely. But I'm all right now, guys. I slept for 11 hours last night, and I feel a lot better. So yeah, that is the kind of backstory about the Anzacs and all that stuff. If you ever hear about Anzacs, they're referred to as diggers as well. I'm not sure of it because I'm not sure if that's an Australian thing or everyone's referred to as diggers, because I think the significance is that, in First World War, it was trench warfare. The soldiers dug trenches. So I think that's why they're called diggers, but then that's not really an Aussie specific thing. So, that doesn't go there. I'm actually leaving the inner ring here I may have dropped an iron block, but whatever. I'm leaving this inner thing here on purpose because I'll use it in a sec. Once we've done the initial ring, which we don't have nearly enough iron to do the initial ring here. Well, I see. I'll be right back. Okay, it looks like we're alright, I think. Where's our iron? Did we lose a bunch of iron or something? Yeah, whatever. It's not the biggest deal in the world if we lose some iron. Alright, it's now dark. I gotta go run back and light all this up. So as I was saying, I kind of go off on tangents on these, don't I? But anyway, I think with the dawn service I went to, and there were a bunch of people talking, I had a really good time. And the one thing I really appreciated for the dawn service is that, and this is just a kind of Australian mentality in general, which I think is a really good mentality to have. And basically it is that the dawn service, it doesn't glorify war. And glorifying war is kind of something I have a real moral standing against, I think. It shouldn't be glorified. War is it's a necessary evil, in my opinion, or at least was a necessary evil when at the time of the First World War and even the Second World War, most of the countries had kind of come from a very bloody past. If you go back into England's past, they were post 1500. They were at war, maybe even before 1500, like Middle Ages even. They're in a war every at least 10 years. It was just stupid. And it was for stupid reasons as well, but I'm not going to go into that. That is definitely for another video. But war is just a necessary evil at times, but it should not be necessary these days. We have the means to not do that kind of stupid crap right like these days. And I know there are conflicts going on, and I don't think there should be conflicts going on, but again, that's kind of my thing. But and I really don't want to be mean to you Americans out there, but America seems to have this thing, or at least had this thing, more so when I was in primary school. And when I was in primary school, and, you know, I think it was, well, George Bush was the president, and that's what I remember. I remember, first president I remember of the new United States is George Bush. At least that's when I remember, because that's as far back as I can remember, essentially. Or at least far back when I knew the president of the United States. But Bush went into, like, the Iraqi war, of course, and all the Americans were like, yes, we should follow him into this war. And I kind of think back at that, and it's dumb. It's stupid. Why do we want to follow someone into war so blindly? I mean, I'm not saying it was the right decision or the wrong decision. What do I want to do? I want to see. I want to get one more quartz out. Actually, I want to clear up that thing at the top. I'm not sure where I put my quartz. Oh, god damn it! I better not have put my quartz. Oh no, it's in my store. It's in the light. The log cabin. But basically, when war heroes come back in America, they're like, oh, they're national heroes, and that's why I never got the mentality of that. Why? Because, well, they volunteered to do this. They know they're risking their lives. It is a very dangerous profession. I mean, if you can think about it that way. Being a soldier is a profession. They get paid to do what they do. It's not like it's not like anything else. It's like anything else is what I'm trying to say. And they get paid to do it. It's a profession. It's a very dangerous profession, and I admit that. But it's just like any other profession. It happens to be more dangerous. And I'm not saying that we should just ignore them and say, oh, you're terrible people. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. It's like they shouldn't be glorified as this kind of thing. What are we teaching the next generation if we're saying, oh, these people are heroes, and we're teaching our kids like, oh, if you go into war, you'll be a hero. I just don't think that is a good mentality to have. In my opinion, in my honest opinion, it's a silly way to think about war. I don't think war should be glorified at all. And again, and I'll mention this again, the way we view it in Australia, because we didn't really have a victory at Gallipoli, we actually went to the Western Front as well in France. We lost a whole bunch more, and we lost an entire generation of people just like that. I think 10% of our population at the time went into that war, and a lot of them died. And I know, and I guess it contrasts with America's military history, or at least World War I, World War II. America dominated, like genuinely dominated, although they came into the war fairly late. But compared to losses sustained by especially British, it's not even in comparison. So I understand why Americans sort of glorify war, while some of them do, but I don't think it should be that way. I think it's silly. So that's kind of my opinion. Go away. Go away. I can't actually hit them without them hitting me. Alright, let's... Lorraine said to put a balcony on this, so I think that's what we're going to do, although we do need some wood. I am out of wood. I need to go cut some more wood. I think that's what I might do. We're going well over time here, but that's alright. But that's my kind of real talk, and if you disagree with me, that's fine. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you could convince me why we should care more for these people who knew they were risking their own lives. And First World War is a little different, and the conscription stuff is a little different, and I find it totally stupid. No one should ever force them to go to war. But it's just silly. It should not be glorified like it is. I feel that it's dumb to glorify it like it is. It is, again, a necessary evil sometimes, but people should not be hailed as absolute heroes because they gave their life for something as stupid as that. But that's my opinion, and it's a bit inflammatory, and I'm not sure I'm explaining myself right, because it's not as if I'm looking down on people who do this. I'm just saying they shouldn't be. It shouldn't be like as much as it is. We should respect the people who died. I respect the people who died for my country very much so, and I understand that they were part of an enormous sacrifice. But I don't think we should say they were heroes. We should take them as an example, because I don't think we should. I think taking them as an example of how we should live our life is just dumb. It's just dumb. So that's my opinion. Take it or leave it, guys. Or argue against me in the comments. I'm fine with that. I will respond to any comment. If you're mad about it, I want to hear what you want to say. I actually do want to hear about what you want to say, because I'm totally open to having my opinion changed by anyone who is willing to put forth a completely rational argument. So thank you for watching and listening to this mini rant on this episode of the Insorum series, Insorum server, my Real Talk series, which I will certainly continue. Not all the time, but just kind of every so often. I like doing these, but yeah, I'm not going to make it a massive habit to do these, because I know they get a little serious for you guys. But thank you very much for putting up with this, and yeah, I'll be back to regular programming very soon. I love Depth Strata. Have I ever mentioned that? I love it. We will be back. Oh man, that's going to be huge when it's done. Oh man, can't wait till it's done. So yeah, back to regular programming as of next episode. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time, guys. See you later.